My computer. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Legacy and Impact. It is September 18th, and a lot of things are going on in the world, exciting things. I pray that there are exciting things happening in your life. I'm in Los Angeles at the office, and as you join us, Glenn, we have Glenn from Illinois and Jeff from Southern California, Margaret from Southern California, Keith from Southern California, Jeff from Southern, or the same one, and Monica from Palm Springs. So we don't have anybody from the East Coast, the far East, as they say. But welcome, everybody. I'm super excited to have you tonight. It is always a privilege and an honor to join you. I apologize for last week. I was in the middle of something which was interesting. I'll share with you. Blessings often come at inconvenient times, right? I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that or realizes it, but in a previous business, my mentor used to share with me, they said, opportunities actually are never convenient. Would you guys agree? Right? Oftentimes they show up at the least convenient time. And it's kind of a test to see if you're really deserve it or if you're really open to it. And what I find is that the busier I am, the more opportunities come my way. Would you guys agree that that is sometimes the circumstance? Open your mics if you can have, right? So we have a property out near in the desert near Monica out in Morongo, and oddly enough, we went to look at it one day, and there was a trailer on the lot, and on the trailer was a quad, like a motorcycle, and it was like, where's that from? What, like, and we were trying to figure it out. It's like, who does it belong to? Where is it? And ended up speaking to the neighbor of one of the lots, and they said, yeah, the guy said that this lot was his father's lot, and he was just parking it here, and he had been 3, 4, 5 times, he and his wife and his kid, and they rode their motorcycle around and then put it back on the trailer and left. And I said, well, how long has that been going on? And he said, well, I've been here for 2 years, as long as I can remember. So just because we're getting ready to do some development on the lot and put some fencing on it, and that is like had to impound the trailer and the motorcycle, put a lien on it. And so in theory, we got a trailer and a motorcycle, right? But it was like there was things that were going on, and I had to deal with that last week. So I was supposed to get out there and back, but I apologize for missing last week. But the point is that every now and then there are blessings that come along, and every now and then it's like, how do I deal with that? And my son this week, my son who's an audio engineer, he also works at Trader Joe's. That's how he keeps his bills paid and things like that, while he's producing music and recording songs and playing with bands and pursuing his musical career. And if you recall, we've talked before about how happenstance, how things just connect up, and it's really hard to explain, but it's like at the right moment at the right time. And through somebody that he met at Trader Joe's, somebody that he met just in passing, and she's a regular there, and they say hi and exchanged Instagram information. And she knew he was into music and audio engineering and stuff. And so they exchanged some information about their lives. And so she calls him up the other day and says, oh, by the way, somebody I know has an audio company, and he's looking for somebody to help him. Are you open? Right? That's the magic question. Are you open? And he said, yeah, sure, I'm open. Ends up, he speaks to the guy, and his skill set, engineering and all of that, is exactly what this guy needs, because he's one of the highest ranking audio engineer recording studio repair guys, and he goes to all the top studios. And so Will ended up meeting him, and they hit it off. And today was his first day at work. And guess where he got to go in his first day at work? He was revamping Stevie Wonder's personal studio. Go figure, wow. Right? So, and again, he called me up yesterday and he says, Dad, I need to bring a W-9 for this for work tomorrow, and I don't have a printer and I don't have access to a W-9. It's like, can you help me out? And that's one of the beautiful things about being a parent, is every now and then you get to be a hero. For the most part, you're by the wayside, but every now and then you get to be a hero. So at midnight last night, I was driving up to him because he just got off of work to give him some W-9s for so he showed up prepared. But isn't that exciting, right? So, the point is there's always opportunities out there when you put it out there and you walk in faith, as we've discussed, and you pursue whatever is available. And so I thought that was very exciting. I was really excited for him when he said, Dad, you'll never guess where I was today. I was in Stevie Wonder's studio. And it's like, and they're revamping it, pulling equipment out, putting in new. So he's from a craft perspective, I believe it's a priceless opportunity for him. So anybody have anything exciting to share about anything you got going on? There's weird shit going on, but exciting too. Anybody? Nothing? Okay. All right. So let's dive into the information for tonight. Okay. So there was a number of clips that I wanted to play, but I couldn't log into the website. But here's what's going on. You guys know that I've got a lot of different things going on at different places. We've been discussing the value of trusts and incorporating life insurance and learning how to leverage that as a tool. And I don't know if you're on social media, there's a lot of talk about this stuff because it's now becoming available to us or those who pursue the knowledge, right? And so what I've been working on recently was kind of extending and or defining our umbrella, right, from a business perspective, right? Because, and again, depending upon what you have going on, you oftentimes will have your core business, and that's good because that puts milk in your refrigerator and bread on your table. Oftentimes it's comes in the form of a job, a W-2 job, or a business that you have started that you may not be as excited about that business. But again, because you've been doing it a while, it provides you with the stability, right? And so never take that stuff for granted. But from there, from your place of stability, my job, my business, you start looking beyond, and how do I incorporate that in? I know Monica does yoga and is very health conscious in the healing arts. And you kind of get a job and you go, okay, how do I tie all of this together? And I encourage you to do this because this is what I've been working on this week. We've got our tax business, and what's the value of a tax business, right? This is what I love about it, right? Number one, literally everybody's a potential customer because everybody that everybody you'll ever meet will file their taxes, right? And they come in once a year, and then that remains the rest of the year. This is the good and the bad of it. The majority of the revenue from taxes comes in the first 3-4 months of the year, right? So that provides for a lot of things that happen in the after year. So part of the reason why I created Legacy and Impact, this environment, is because a lot of our tax clients had questions like, how does this work? What do I do? And rather than doing a series of calls, I said, well, plug into this so that way you have a trusted resource where you can learn about tax structures, business, investing, real estate, crypto, whatever's going on. And again, if you guys have something that you are interested in or studying or you want to bring to the table so that we can all learn, please bring that to my attention so that we can have an entire call based on that, and we can learn together, right? So, and then from there, go ahead, Jeff.
I can bring us some stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I've been studying a little bit about a WST trust, which is a Westpac statutory trust, which basically gives you asset protection in Wyoming. That also cuts where you can hide yourself, and because there's a thing coming in 2024 where we all have to reveal ourselves in our LLCs.
Correct.
And so um, there's a way of doing it with a trust, with also a trustee off to the side, someone that can do the trustee work, which is they call it a WST statutory trust. And basically you can do it in Wyoming and register it in Wyoming, and it gets asset protection with that. And it also hides you so no one can find out who you are. So I'm learning about that. That's kind of a new one. But also, I was trying to find out about the difference between the 501c and the 508c1a, which is basically you're classifying yourself as, instead of nonprofit organization, because being a 501, they kind of restrict you on what you can talk about and stuff like that. Yep. But when you do a 508, you actually have a better you have more rights to speak, your right to share your thoughts and stuff. But they're kind of nailing people on the 508 because they don't structure it right. And I was wondering if you could touch base on the difference between the 501 and the 508 and how they structure it as a ministered trust.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about the 508 the classification. I'll look that up for next week and discuss it. I am familiar with 501c3. That's your traditional nonprofit organization, right? And like you were talking about, your mission statement, what you do and what your purpose is, that is defined when it's being issued. That's part of the reason why they issue it. But you're very strict in regards to what you can do and what you can't do, what you can say and what you can't say, where your funds can come from and where they can't come from, right? For example, if you're just a traditional 501c3, you can't accept money from outside the country. You have to. There's a different distinction. It's a 50, well, maybe it's the 508 that is but again, then it's an international nonprofit organization, and it's much broader, right? And so there's different.
You don't give up your liberty rights like you do with the 501c. 508 1CA gives you your right to speak, about politics and a few other things, and to get money from other politicians and stuff for nonprofit organizations. But the 501c changed in 2010, which blocks anything to do with politics and with also with our United States government. So I've been trying to study and learn that one right now. But right now I just learned about the WST trust, which is the statutory trust, and I was trying to learn about that so you can hide yourself just in case you want to do that.
Yeah, again,
a way of doing it.
Yeah, and many people, again, if you have a lot of assets, that is an option. That's, asset protection in order to keep yourself invisible. And the LLCs have been fantastic for that. Certain states are much better than others. But what Jeff is referring to is, as of January 1st, 2024, the LLCs, the heads of LLCs or people who own them have to be revealed, or it's available to the government for them to be revealed. And that's because they don't want foreigners owning land in the United States doing it anonymously through LLCs. That's why. So it's really designed to vet or weed out people who are outside the United States that own real estate. So, but I will look into that. If I'll check in with you and get the specific classifications, and we'll sort through it together. And by the way, WST, I trust that W stands for Wyoming Statutory Trust. Is that correct?
Well, when I was doing some research on it, it looks like it's called Westpac Statutory Trust, which
Westpac. Okay.
yeah, but then I was listening to a guy on YouTube and they called it the WST Trust, which is a Sagittarius or Sagittarius
Statutory. Yeah.
Trust.
Okay.
Yeah, statutory trust.
Okay.
And
I'll look
okay,
it
and
up.
let's see, it's I guess it's a series 21-1 WST Trust, as far as I can tell. But I'll do a
Good.
little bit more research and find out about it.
That's how we learn. That's how we learn. Very cool. So, alrighty. Thank you. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, again, you should all be learning new stuff or pursuing new businesses, new opportunities, right? So, kind of going back to where legacy came from. Legacy came from within the context of trying to be efficient with both time and resources. This ended up being created, and so that's what I've been working on with somebody else to take everything next level, our entire operation. And then recently, I also created, this was prior to moving to Mexico, I created another entity called EOA.life. EOA.life. And the purpose of EOA.life is for people that have certain financial resources, that want to get their financial resources working much, much more efficiently for them, so that way they can have much more tax-free income and possibly be doing what we're doing, which is living on foreign soil or living off the grid and not having to work. Rather than that is, because a lot of times, if somebody has $100,000 or $200,000 in an account or in somewhere, if you, through a series of mechanisms, if you put that in place, namely, like we talked about with life insurance and trusts, you can set it up so that you can create a never-ending cycle of money. And so that's what EOA Life is all about, is helping people that have anywhere from, 35, 40, 50 to $1 million, and take on different structure so they can have a different quality of life, right? And let me ask you a question. Okay. And it's I'm looking for an authentic answer, authentic and truthful answer is, if you could live somewhere else, anywhere else in the world, would you want to? Right? Look at your home, your house, your apartment, your resources, your work, the state that you live in. Anybody have dreams of living somewhere else other than where you live? And if so, what does that look like? Anybody?
I'd like to live quite a few places.
Hold on. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry about that. My internet dropped and everything, so I was gone. So, so Queen Sika, you'd like to live a few places? What does your dream life look like?
yes. I don't know. You know what? It's just being able to have property in the places that are beautiful and peaceful. Haven't quite mapped it out because I see so many beautiful places, or at least have a vacation home. So when I do go vacation, it'll be my home, and then rent them out throughout the year to other people. I would like yeah, that would be very cool.
Got it. Because I'd like to support you with that, right? Because again, that's one of the things that we've been working on recently, is really setting up mechanisms and connections outside our traditional world. And again, that's how Mexico came about for us. And there's a lot of different a lot of different places, a lot of different ways that we can design our lives if we choose to, right? So I actually have a clip of somebody that I've known for a number of years. And the last time I saw her, she was doing events here in LA at the airport hotel, one of the airport hotels. And sorry, I'm just making some adjustments here. And I recently saw a clip about her, and it's like, holy shit, she's done exceptionally well. And the reason why people do well is because they're courageous and they're bold and they take action.
Lost it again.
Stephen, you got muted.
Yeah, you're muted. We can't hear you.
I think we lost him.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm here. Sorry. So I got some technical problems I get to deal with today, I guess. So, but you can hear me now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Yeah. So Queen, some of the stuff that I've been, because I know, some of your resources with reference to the trusts and the life insurance, I got some really, really good stuff. And every day I'm speaking with new people that bring their scenarios. One young lady, her father passed away and she was left some money. Another person, sold a business and he's sitting on, a chunk of money. And it's like when people don't know what to do with, all of a sudden you start opening up doors for them, and there's a lot of opportunities out there. Right. So, cool. Anybody else? Where would you like to live if you could?
I got two choices. I'd like to go back to, I like to Ireland, and my family is actually from Swedish and Dutch. I wouldn't mind going back to where my family started out before they came to America in the 1800s.
Wow. Yeah. Incredible opportunities in Europe, right? I know certain cities in Italy, they'll pay you to move there. And it's incredible because a lot of these towns, they are starting to they're in decline because there's no resources there. But again, if you have certain financial resources and we put certain tools together, extraordinary things are possible. And I'm not talking about anything risky. I'm talking about something that's more solid than putting your money in the bank. So good stuff. Anybody else before I play this clip?
I just started traveling, so I'm still searching.
You got the travel bug though. All of a sudden you go. It's funny because as I used to travel with work, it was always dangerous because everywhere I went, I thought, yeah, I could live here. I went to Bristol, England. We were doing some animation over there, and beautiful, beautiful countryside, English countryside, and you have everything you need. And you go, wow, I could live here. And you go to Mexico and you go, yeah, I could live here. And I did some documentaries down in Costa Rica, and you go, wow, I could live here. And of course, Australia and New Zealand are beautiful, and I could live here. that's that's the downside to traveling, right? So I'm going to play a clip for you guys. This is somebody that I've known for probably about 10 years now. And she was a young entrepreneur when I met her. And as I saw this clip, I got very excited for her, a little bit jealous for myself, a little angry at myself. But again, the way things fall into place, just like my son meeting someone, I know that there's always connections happening and reveal, and we all have our purpose and we all get to go on this journey that God puts us on. But check this out. I think you're going to be impressed with this one. Let's see, Chrome. Share. Okay. I don't know if you guys know this guy. But here we go.
Vishen Lakhiani.
And said she's the author.
Yeah. So this is Regan Hillier, and Regan joined my ACN team. She's from New Zealand originally. I met her in Australia, and I always knew that she had a lot of really good things. Last time I saw her was she was doing an event for women, empowering women in at the Los Angeles airport. But listen to this.
It's #1 manifestation method. And as I got to know her story, I got blown away by what she pulled off. Get this, just less than 10 years ago, this woman had only $8 in her bank account. Today, she has 600 acres of land in Costa Rica where she's building her own resort empire. She has a business that does over $42 million a year. And every aspect of her life seems to be blessed by remarkable luck. From the incredible man that she's recently gotten married to the transformation that she's experiencing even in her physical body. What makes Regan Hillier the woman she is? She says it is the set of rules, principles, and ideas on mind over reality that she got to learn through a series of mentors over the last decade. And in this video presentation, we're going to be sharing some of those ideas with you. My name is Vishen Lakhiani. I'm the creator of Mindvalley, the world's biggest personal transformation company. Mindvalley has 20 million followers globally, and I've interviewed close to 1,000 luminaries in every aspect of improving the human experience. When it comes to manifesting, the idea that our minds can influence our body and reality and move us in a much easier way towards our goals, one name stands out, and it's Regan Hillier. So I got Regan to sit down with me and take us through her story because there's so many gems of wisdom in the story itself, and to also share with us some of the key principles that she trains the thousands of people she works with on how to manifest better. CEOs pay this woman up to $1 million a year just to help them manifest their dream life. Now, the crazy thing is this. Before Regan became the person that you see on all of these magazine covers, her life was an absolute mess. And I want you to listen to her story because perhaps you're going through some period of your life right now that is far from ideal. Maybe heartbreak. Maybe you're at a financial ceiling. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you're going through a health issue. If you're going through any of these issues, listen to Regan's story because you'll see how you might be able to overcome these.
My life absolutely was a mess. I remember when I was living in an amazing apartment in Melbourne. I had started a company. I was starting to do well. And I was going about my normal morning. I'd made my cup of coffee and I saw this letter slide under the door. I thought, why is a letter coming under the door? It should go to the post office. And so I grabbed the letter and I opened it and I started to read. And I felt absolutely sick to my stomach. The letter said that I had 48 hours to get out of the apartment. I was being evicted. And I thought to myself, this can't be right. And so I logged onto my internet banking to check why the rent payment hadn't gone through. And I realized that I had $8.70 left in my bank account. I started to panic. My heart was racing. I thought to myself, I can't tell all of my friends and family that have been telling me I'm going to fail that I'm in this situation. I called one of my friends that I trusted in Melbourne. His name was Theo. And I explained to him what was happening. And I said, I don't have anywhere to sleep. Could I come and stay with you? And he said, yes, but I have a 1-bedroom apartment. You can sleep on my couch. I said, okay, I'll take it. And I turned up there and I was sitting on this couch whilst my friend paid for my food. And I had my head in my hands. And I just remember thinking to myself, how did I get here? The vision of my life that I was trying to manifest was so big and so grand and so exciting, yet I was so far from that. I had lost everything. I had no money. I was in a place where I was extremely unhealthy. I was working so hard trying to make everything work that I was barely eating, to the point where I developed an eating disorder and I used to just collapse on the floor. I was having upwards of 8 coffees a day. I started going deep into learning wealth creation strategies. I studied Forex trading, how to trade .com businesses, sales and marketing. I went to so many different wealth conferences, but nothing was actually working. I was trying to start businesses and they were failing. I was stressed out. I was time poor. I was still unhealthy. I was lost. I was broke and I was confused. And then one thing happened that changed everything. I knew I had to do something different to get a different result in my life. So out of total desperation, I enrolled into a wealth creation event. This event was $5,000. I did not have $5,000. I borrowed money and put it on a credit card, but I was committed to being there. But something very interesting happened. And I later realized why it was extremely important. for me to be at this event. I was sitting near the back of the room because I was also one of the youngest people in the room. Felt like I didn't fit in at all. And I was sitting there and this older man came and sat next to me. He must have been in his mid-60s. He was wearing a beautiful blue jacket. And little did I know that this man, whose name was Simon, was actually one of the consultants and mentors to some of the greatest teachers when it comes to mindset, manifestation, and personal development. And we were sitting there, and in this moment, I felt safe with him. And I started sharing with him the reality of where I was at in my life. It's like it all spilled out of me all at once. And he could tell that I was right on the edge of giving up. I said to him, you know, Simon, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I'm not cut out for this dream life that I'm creating on these vision boards. And he said something that completely flipped my reality. He said, Regan, don't you realize anything that you desire to create and manifest in your life, you have to do it a specific way. He said, right now, you're pushing, you're hustling, you're working so hard, but you're putting all that energy in the wrong direction. You're totally focused on all the action that you're taking and everything outside of you. He said, Regan, it's 80% about your mind, your spirit, and your energetics. What are you doing about that? And I realized that I had no idea what he actually meant by that. So that sent me off on a whole new path. I kept meeting up with Simon, and every time I connected with him, he started laying out protocol after protocol after protocol, step by step. And I was a good student. I took notes, I wrote it down, and I applied it. At the same time, I started going deeper into NLP and hypnosis and started working with other mentors. And something really interesting started happening. My life started changing fast. Everyone laughed at me for going deep into manifestation practices. Everyone laughed at me when I said I was working on myself. Everyone laughed at me when I started learning tools such as NLP and hypnosis and energy work. However, I went from $8.70 to over $1 million in 1 year before I was 23 years old. So I thought to myself, well, if that's possible, then what else could I create in my life? So I continued on. I created a branding company, a dating education company. I generated multiple millions of dollars. And then I decided, what if I could manifest even more time in my life to actually do what I really, really, really love? So I started playing with that. And I got to a place where I was 27 years old and I was only working 3 to 4 hours a day maximum. So with this time freedom, I started traveling around the world. And I was living an amazing life at that time, except one area of my life wasn't going well. It was my heart. I was actually in an extremely abusive relationship. And nearing the end of that relationship, I knew that I had to make a choice. I had to get out of there. And I had to get really, really, really clear on manifesting the love that I knew I deserved. I was manifesting wealth, freedom, time freedom, so many things. But for some reason, I had forgotten that I could actually manifest my soulmate. And so I sat down with the same protocols, the same tools, but I applied them to my heart. I applied them to the area of love. And 2 weeks after I left that previous abusive relationship, I manifested my soulmate. I was at an entrepreneurs festival and I connected with my now husband, Wampa, on the very last day of the very last minute. Now, his story on this is different. He says that he followed me around for those 3 or 4 days and then we connected, but I saw him at that very last moment. The minute I saw him, my heart knew. My mind was worried because I didn't think I was ready to receive a manifestation that quickly. I'd only left that relationship 2 weeks ago, but my soul knew that this was divine synchronicity and it was aligned. 2.5 years later, we got married and now we live in this beautiful estate in Costa Rica, over 600 acres of paradise, of jungle, of waterfalls, fruit trees everywhere. And what is really beautiful is that when we came together, I got a stepson, Daniel. Daniel was an amazing young man and also very curious. He would always ask me, what am I working on? How did I do it? He had so many questions. And so I started teaching him a lot of the tools and protocols and practices, and he started applying them to his own life as a teenager. In fact, his company made over $100,000 by the time he was 17. Daniel's also being published and featured in Forbes magazine all around the world. And he's created an online community to bring other teams together to live better lives. And right now, he's only 18. So people were watching me completely change my life. And very organically, people started coming to me saying, can you help me as well? And at first, I didn't really want to help them because I wasn't sure if the things that I was doing would actually work for them. I had only tried them on myself. And so I kept going deeper and really refining the tools and the practices that I was using. And then I decided to work with a very small handful of people. These were 10 people that had been asking me for help. So I started sharing the practices, the methods, and the protocols. And the strangest thing happened. They started coming back to me and thanking me because they were completely changing their lives. And when I saw that it was working, I went even deeper into the tools, even deeper into the protocols. I started creating my own methods around this. And I built this into a whole series of work called the Energetic Architecture Method. This method is what I use in the Mind Valley Quest, The Art of Manifesting, but more on that later.
So as Regan went deep into these principles, she started noticing that there were three primary reasons that people don't truly manifest what they want.
So the first reason is called the broken radio syndrome. This is what is happening when there's a frequency mismatch between you and what you're looking to manifest. Just like when you're trying to tune the radio to get the signal to hear it, but you can't, and it sounds scratchy and horrible and you just want to turn it off. Many people are living their life like that. Now, this frequency mismatch happens when your internal reality is not conditioned to be effectively wired to where you're actually going. And this shows up in the form of limiting beliefs, negative constructs, stuck emotions, self-sabotage patterns, and so many other pieces within your internal reality, which actually block you, stop you, and slow you down from manifesting what you desire with ease and with grace. So to solve this problem, I started teaching people how to tune their inner radio. I started teaching people how to shift and recalibrate their frequency from the inside out in order to become an energetic match for what they're calling in. Now, when you learn how to do this, your manifestations show up in a way where it's fast and easy simply because you're in sync with what is coming towards you.
And this is just the first problem. And I can vouch for this. I witnessed this myself right here on stage yesterday in front of 800 people. Several students of Regan, we asked them to come on stage and share their stories. This is what they shared.
I signed a contract of 165K within 3 weeks. I manifested a relationship with my soulmate and we just got engaged.
I actually manifested writing and publishing a book. I'm not 17, okay, but I made it.
So I was manifesting one book, but it turned out to be 3, and it's expanding to become a membership site as well.
Wasn't that amazing?
Right.
And I know you must be so proud to be able to shift so many lives. But there's a second principle.
The second problem that people face is called the identity mismatch. When we have this identity mismatch, this often shows up by you working really hard and often even doing tools and practices when it comes to manifestation, but the results just don't show up for you, or they take a really, really, really long time. Now, we don't get in life what we do. We get in life who we choose to be. If we got what we do, then all the people working long hours right now would be living their dream life, but that's just not the reality. So when you learn how to deal with the mismatch in identity, and you learn how to actually recode your identity from the inside out, you start being the version of you that naturally and effortlessly attracts whatever it is that you desire into your life and into your reality. The minute you crack the code on this problem, you notice that your results accelerate and you're able to bring the version of you to the table that naturally manifests what you desire.
And this is another reason why we get so many letters from people who have studied Regan's program on Mind Valley, The Art of Manifesting, about all the incredible things that they are bringing into their lives. But listen carefully, because there's a third principle that you have to understand. And this is really cool, and it affected my life profoundly.
The third problem that people really face when it comes to manifesting is actually their relationship with time. Many people manifest what they want in their life, but how long does it take them? Then there's people out there that seem to quantum leap their reality and manifest huge things in their life really, really, really quickly. Now, here's what most people do. They wait out the next year, the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to gradually evolve into a higher, more conscious version of themselves. And then there's people that I work with that take these principles and say, you know what? I don't want to wait 5, 10, 20 years. I want to access that version of me right now in order to then create the external reflections in my life and in my reality. If you don't have a profound and deep relationship with time, if you don't understand how to bend time, if you don't understand how to collapse time, so that your manifestations can come in faster, then time is altering you. You can choose to alter time, but you need to know how to actually overcome this problem first. And when you do, you start realizing that goals that you set for maybe 12 months can show up in 6 months or 3 months, or maybe in 1 month or sooner. So when you understand how to use this tool, you're able to literally import the information from your future and integrate that into your consciousness in order to bring an entirely different version of you to the table each and every single day.
So you've now learned some of the corrective principles that turn you from struggling to really manifesting the life of your dreams. But we can go further. There are approaches and techniques that Regan developed that she trains people all around the world on, including me. In fact, Regan is one of the few coaches on the planet that command $1 million a year from her top clients. Yes, people pay her $1 million a year for direct coaching because of the results she gets many of these superstar clients. Listen to her explain some of the principles that she brings to her clients. So Regan, take us through what you teach in your program.
Yes. So here are some of the tools that I teach people in order for them to become powerful manifestors. Firstly, I show people how to realign with their vision. So many people don't get what they actually desire in their life because they don't understand how to create an alignment with their vision. We are often not conditioned to think big because of the programming from our family, from society, from so many people that aren't supporting us in accelerating forward in our manifestations. And if we don't deal with this, what happens is that we default to the unconscious programs that are sitting underneath the surface. So I show people how to handle that and how to go in and create the vision for your life in any area of your life that is actually in alignment with your highest potential. One of the other things that I teach people is that I show them how to expand their capacity to receive. We can only receive what we have the capacity to hold energetically in our minds, in every part of our being. Anything you're looking to manifest is just energy. Money, love, fulfillment, purpose, it's all energy. But can you hold it? This is why so many people might have a really big vision for their life, but they're not able to manifest it because they don't understand how to use this tool. You need to be creating the containers in your unconscious system in order to hold your manifestations. And when people learn how to do this, often they expand really quickly into the vision beyond their vision, the manifestation beyond their manifestation. And it starts happening really quickly because they're expanding into even more bigness when it comes to aligning to what they're manifesting. Another tool that I work with people with is showing them how to shift and clear their limitations. We always have limitations within us, no matter what level of life that we are playing at. And we have fears, we have self-doubt, we have limiting stories, we have unconscious programs, we have so many pieces that are blocking us, slowing us down and holding us back from manifesting what we desire. It's a little like you're in the car at this point and you're excited, you're driving towards your vision, you're so close, you can see what's beyond it. Then all of a sudden you look in the rear vision mirror and you notice that all of your limits hanging out in the back seat. The fear, the doubt, the worry, and it's almost like they come and they try and take over. They want you to get out of the car, they want you to stop driving, but you're at a choice point. You can either jump out of the car and say, oh, I'll just keep my life how it is, I don't want to manifest anything, I'm fine. Or you can choose to drive the car forward, dealing with those blocks and those limitations. I show you how to do that. And when people learn how to do this, they're able to stand on the stage, even if their knees are shaking. They're able to say yes to that business deal, even if they're doubting themselves. Still, they're able to move forward instead of letting these doubts, these blocks, these limitations consume them. One of the tools that I help people go deep with is the highest self recalibration. Now, we don't get in life what we do, but we do get who we choose to be. If we got in life what we did, then all the people working so many hours every single day would be living their dream life. The last time I checked, that's not the case. We get in life who we choose to be. Now, here's what most people do. They wait out the next year, the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years to gradually evolve into a higher, more conscious version of themselves. And then there's people that I work with that take these principles and say, you know what? I don't want to wait 5, 10, 20 years. I want to access that version of me right now in order to then create the external reflections in my life and in my reality. So when you understand how to use this tool, you're able to literally import the information from your future and integrate that into your consciousness in order to bring an entirely different version of you to the table each and every single day. When you start doing this, things tend to happen fast. You learn how to bend time and space. You learn how to shift your future reality into the right now, and manifestation starts showing up faster than you even expected. One of the other tools that I work with is helping people ensure that they are taking massive aligned action. We take all of these internal practices and tools and protocols, and then you use them out in your life. You take the physical action, but where are you acting from? If you're acting from a misaligned frequency, then none of that action is going to work. It won't count. So I show you how to shift and recalibrate your inner frequency, which changes the energetics of your entire system, which means that when you call that person, when you say yes to that business deal, when you meet that future lover, things line up energetically and you're supported because you're moving in an aligned way towards what you're manifesting, and it's happening faster and faster and faster.
There are approaches and techniques that Regan developed that she trains people all around the world on, including me. In fact, Reagan is one of the few coaches on the planet that command $1 million a year from her top clients. Yes, people pay her $1 million a year for direct coaching because of the results she gets. Now, that's when Mindvalley decided to team up with Reagan after seeing how effective her teaching methodology was. And I've been working with her since 2017. In 2023, we released Reagan's new program on Mindvalley, The Art of Manifesting. All of these principles, all of these tools are put together in a comprehensive 27-day journey where over 20 minutes a day and 27 days, you learn to become a master manifester. Now, when we got this out to the world, very rapidly, it became the #1 program on Mindvalley out of 100 programs. So let's get real. The world today has trained you. Our broken education system has told us that it's all about the physical, right? That the way to success, the way to money is all about striving, pushing, hard work. That's somewhat true, but that's only 20% of results. 80% is your spirit and your mind. And any successful person who has nailed it will say the same thing. When you correct your mindset, when you bring in the spiritual energy that's inherent in all of us, we gain a new way to create our own reality. This is what you learn in this incredible program, the missing piece in our education system. It took us years to identify Reagan. It took us years to build this program because we wanted to get it right. We started seeking and putting together manifesting programs as early as 2017, that nothing could deliver the results that Reagan was getting with her clients. No program could inspire people at the same level that this woman had. Check out this footage of her on stage just recently and look at the massive standing ovation. Wait, stand and embrace this. People are still standing for you. Thank you, Reagan Hillier.
Thank you.
Reagan changes lives. And ask yourself, what would it be worth to you to suddenly gain the tools to manifest just about anything you want? Because remember, once you learn manifesting, you don't just apply it to one thing. You can apply it to money, to health, to love, to freedom, to pursuing your dreams, to waking up every day in the best emotional states. You can apply it to change the lives of your family and friends. Check out some of these incredible stories from users all around the world. Char L. from Kelowna, Canada, wrote and published a 50,000-word book. And not only that, but she said, I've booked speaking engagements for May with the intent of having published books with me to sell. Gerald Savage used this in his trading business. He said, last night, I started knowing something big was going to happen as I was going through the program. Today, I placed my first trade. Guess what? Over 80% return on that one trade. Vincent Lelo says that he started seeing money pop up unexpectedly. Well, so far for me this year, received $7,151.65, totally unexpected, without any work involved from 2 sources. What next is possible? Mandy Gibner listened to the audios from the program. Within 24 hours of doing that, I had a 6-month one-to-one coaching client sign up with me. Ann Wilchcock said this helped her smash all of her goals in the gym. Her physical therapist asked her, what have you been doing to gain so much strength? She was inspired by Reagan using manifesting to transform her body and musculature. And of course, there's hundreds more stories on our website. Now, with all of these amazing stories, you can see how powerful this program is. And what I want to do is, if you are even somewhat curious about how to manifest your craziest dreams, I want to invite you to jump into the art of manifesting. Now, let me explain how the program works. The program is broken into 7 parts. And I'm going to ask Reagan to explain these 7 parts to you.
So we start out with part number 1 and we go into the fundamentals of manifesting. This is really important so that everything else can build on this. We break down what manifestation actually is, and you learn the fusion between the science and the art of manifesting and how you can then practically apply that before we go into the more advanced sections. We then go into part 2, which is powerful visioning. And I show you how to unlock the vision that's waiting for you, a vision that's actually in alignment with your soul and your highest potential. This is not just about creating a vision board and hoping it will happen. These are practical tools and strategies that work really, really, really fast. Part number 3, we go into expanding your capacity to receive. I take you deep into your energetic field using the energetic architecture method and show you how to not just establish containers in your unconscious energetic reality, but how to expand them. And when you learn how to do this, you learn how to actually manifest on a higher level. You learn how to call in the dream beyond your dream, the vision beyond your vision, and how to expand your consciousness so that you can become the version that can actually hold higher level manifestations. Part 4 is all about overcoming resistance. All humans have blocks and limitations which are stopping them, slowing them down, or holding them back from manifesting what they desire. And so we look at how to recognize those blocks and those limits, and then how to alchemize them, how to shift them, how to transform them into useful energy that actually propels you forward. Part 5 is all about stepping into the next version of you. I show you how to access your highest self from 5, 10, or even 20 years or more into your future. And I show you how to actually import that information into your consciousness right now. So you can walk and talk and think and act in a way where it aligns your manifestations for coming in faster. And then we go into part 6, which is about accelerating your physical results. This is where we get into some of the even more advanced techniques. It becomes not a question of will my manifestation happen, but when will it happen? And then the last part, part number 7, is all about locking in your future. You'll see through this program that manifestation is not something you just do for a few days and then leave it. Manifestation is a lifestyle. It's a way of being. And choosing to become a master manifester is a choice. And it's a set of skills that you will tap into in this program and then have for life. This is why people that go through this program don't just transform one area of their lives. They transform multiple areas of their lives, and they come back and use the tools in different ways in different areas. And this last part ties it all together. It integrates everything and accelerates your manifestations, and then sets you up to manifest even more magic into your life.
Now, this program is constructed in a really unique way. Not only is it going to be speaking to your logical mind, not only are you going to learn the principles, but Regan also speaks to your subconscious mind. In fact, within this program is a really interesting 8-hour audio that you listen to as you're sleeping.
All right. So pretty good stuff, huh? Where are we?
Yes.
Yeah. So Regan is, so I remember when I met her in my friend's living room in Australia, as we did, and we became very good friends. And she, she always had something unique and special, but it is always exciting when you see people, when the missing link, so to speak. And again, my commitment to all of you is, number one, transformation, right? Because again, where you are mentally, physically, will not get you where you want to go. You gotta break down. Like, the way the brain works is crazy, and we have to be able to break through that into the manifestation realm. And I'm constantly blown away with the doors that open. But my doors have not opened up as extraordinarily as Regan's have. So I'm most likely going to plug into what she's got going on and reconnect. And obviously she's in great demand, but she and her husband now, they now live down in Costa Rica and have designed an incredible, beautiful home down there that now they invite their guests there. Monica, I know that she's all into yoga, and that's one of the bases of what they do. So we'll see what doors I may be able to open up for you all. But Mind Valley is an extraordinary organization that only deals with the best of the best of the best for your mind. And that's obviously we've discussed that before, right? Mindset is first and foremost, then simple skill set, and manifestation, learning the skills of manifestation is a skill set. And Regan has taken that to a whole new level, and I need to revisit. And when I say revisit, it's, a lot of times when we're going through life, we already know a lot. We oftentimes already know what we need to do, but we sometimes need to be reminded, Would everybody agree? It's
Yes.
kind of explained to me when you have teenage children and they're kind of coming into their own, and you open up the door to their bedroom and their bedroom is anything but organized, right? And so you don't need to teach your kids how to clean their room. Oftentimes, we just need to be reminded of that which we already know, right? So I invite you all to really, my intention with sharing this information tonight was to either make you aware of a potential missing link or remind you of that missing link that's just that you already have in your toolbox, but need to bring it from the dusty toolbox or dusty back of the room to the forefront of your mind, right? Because every day is important. Every day is worth millions and millions of dollars, as we've talked about before, right? I'm going to collect more information in regards to Regan and what she's got going on. If anybody's interested, let me know, because I'm going to be reaching out to the Mind Valley group and see what the fees are, what the costs are. And again, when you're in the realm of personal development, right?
I'd like to know about what she does. I'd like to know if she's working the NLP program.
Yeah.
Because I went to the NLP back in 2010, and it actually is really good. I think it was name's Kyle. Was over here in Pasadena.
Yeah.
So the NLP really works really well, and so that it helped out a lot of people's cells and stuff like that to get them productive and get them moving. So it actually works well. But what I liked about the story was what the old man told her. You know, to stay focused on what you're doing and don't work so hard. Work more efficiently, is what he was trying to tell her, which is what I liked about the story itself, because basically we all get caught up in working hard that we don't really work efficiently. And I actually worked as assistant manager for a restaurant for 13 years, and I watched my boss go through that. And I tried to bring up new ideas and all this other stuff. And I still swear up and down, this woman worked harder than any man I've ever seen. But she finally just collapsed and I had enough. I can't do it. And I've actually physically watched this happen within a business that I actually work for, and unfortunately didn't want to make the changes. That's the reason why I'm looking at structures, so I can actually make changes and do things to keep from getting into that rut, and what businesses do to you and make you work hard and you just get caught up in a rut. So that's my structure. But it sounds like to me she's working the NLP with her knowledge, which is actually really good. NLP really worked.
Correct.
So I just want to bring some input on that.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Steve, I followed Vishen Lakhiani for years now. He's amazing.
He's brilliant.
And so is Mind Valley. And there is a I don't know what it's called, but you can like sign up for like a subscription or something, a monthly, and then you have access to some or all of the programs that he provides, which is incredible. And that's a goal of mine as well. And I've also followed Wanpa and Reagan. I met Reagan, well, I know of Reagan through Wanpa. So it's truly an incredible video that you put, and all those people are amazing to follow.
And Juan Pa is her husband, right?
Yes, Juan Pa.
I haven't met him.
And
I haven't met him, but yeah.
If you follow him, if you just look him up online or something, he has a cool accent, and he's very like very spiritual. He does meditations, and he does the same thing Reagan does. In a
We lost you. Yeah. So come on back, Monica. But yeah, and so again, my goal is to just expose you to new people and new concepts and new tools, new techniques, right? Because I know we all are literally, in that mix. Sorry, I thought it was, yeah. So sorry, I got dropped. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet tonight, but so yeah, my goal is to get you plugged in and exposed to all these new things always, right? And because all of us, we all have challenges, mental challenges, financial challenges, but it's learning how to be able to break through that and not have anything, any time missed. So thank you, Monica, for sharing. I appreciate that. Cool. All righty. So in the realm, what I am working on is laying the foundation for continued growth, actually significant and massive growth within what I was sharing with you within the umbrella that we're looking to create that you are included in. And because where are we in the year? What's the date?
September.
September 18th.
We're gearing up for the last quarter, right? And what is the Regan mentioned it, time management is one of the most essential components to all success, right? And we as a species, we're always looking to the future and we forget about today, right? So I encourage you, as we come to the end of the third quarter, right? Take personal inventory aggressively on what's going on. And if you're not seeing extraordinary results right now, then you need the next 3 months to get everything dialed in so that next year and next month are ridiculously productive, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And do you determine your success, or does the economy determine your success?
I determine that.
We do.
You determine.
We determine our own success.
Right? In the same way, or the reverse. Do you create your failure, or does the economy, does the president, does the whoever?
That would be on us again.
You.
Your mindset.
Correct. You are the source of all things. And again, if you are ever concerned about money or finances, just drive down the street and look at all the apartment buildings. There is no shortage of money. There's no shortage of resources. There's no shortage of opportunity. There's no shortage of people that need help, that want help, that are looking for, right? And our job is to literally put ourselves in the middle of the flow of money. When you position yourself mentally, physically, and compound your time, you start figuring things out really quickly. How do I connect with 5 people? How do I connect with 10 people? How do I connect with 25 people? How do I connect with 100 people? How do I connect with 1,000 people? Right? And that was the exercise, and it's critically important. This is the root. This is the root to quantum growth. And it's the foundation of network marketing, right? How does your organization or your influence double in size? Right? If everybody just refers one person, right? You can't do anything by yourself except for get yourself so you're sick, get yourself so you're overworked, right? Your team, the people that are effectively working with you, are going to be able to compound your results, right? Envision it. What do you need? I need somebody to do this. 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 And the resources that are available to us online and through the internet and all of that, they're endless. Right? So it's okay. I got that. I got that. I got that. I got that. And then it's your vision or what you have going on. Oftentimes we feel, oh, I can't do it because I don't have money or I need finances. I need to be able to pay people. There's always mechanisms to enroll people in participating or making something happen, right? Begin with your vision, and then you start focusing on exponential growth. My goal is in the month of December to have an event. And the event is going to be stemmed from, I haven't nailed everything down, but making sure that 2024 is people's best financial year, that people have a sense of the most freedom that they've ever had, best financial resources, best growth, that 2024 is going to be their year of transformation, right? And manifestation. So that's what I'm working on while I've got all these other things. But I'm putting that out there with you guys because my goal is to have, by January, is to have over 1,000 people on this call every week. 1,000 people on this call every week. 1,000 people on this call every week, right? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
100% possible, right? And so you get the opportunity to participate that. And what happens when you bring yourself and your opportunities and your mindset and your services and all of that to a very fast moving train? If you put yourself on a fast moving train, you reap the benefits. You hook your little red wagon to something that's already in high gear. And now you win as well. Does that make sense? It's the power of association. So I invite everybody to. I'm gonna research Mind Valley, Monica. I didn't realize it was a subscription. I'm gonna research that and then bring it on. If you guys want to look into it as well for next week, but I'm gonna look and see if there's either a
Hey,
discount.
Steve, it isn't a subscription. You can like tap into it, but there's a component where you can buy or pay for the subscription, and then you get access to certain information. But they have events and they have free things as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll look into it because I had seen it before a couple of years back, but I had, again, we all get busy and we forget about things. But again, the resources that you need are readily available to you, right? Try that on. What if everything you ever needed is already in your midst? It is. As we've discussed, it's important that you understand your purpose, that you're in alignment. Like that's what Regan was talking about, is your inner frequencies are aligned. And once you've got that, now you go into the universe knowing your role, and the energy that you emit is going to yield the results that you expect. Right. So incredible things. So anybody have anything else to share? I invite you to analyze your way of being when you wake up in the morning, as you go throughout your day. Are you proactive or are you reactive? Right? When you're reactive, your results are never going to move you forward. The only way forward momentum is created is by being proactive. That make sense? Right? Everything else, when you're reactive, And this is one of my challenges is I'm heading into a direction and then something comes up that takes me out of my game or that needs my attention, right? So I'm going up and then all of a sudden something is like, oh, a phone call comes in and then do you stop what you're doing in order to take care of it? Or do you say, I'll get to that later, put it on the list at 3 o'clock, I'll deal with that. But right now I'm taking care of business, right? So you need to be proactive as you're going through your day. And as you do that, what you'll find is there's going to be a lot more peace in your life. You're going to advance quicker and your results will be significant. And then at the end of the day, you put your head on the pillow and you're at peace. And you think about the next day and you come from a place of gratitude and you do it all over again. Make sense? But do it with intention, with gratitude, with direction, channeling your energy, positive energy into the right direction. So, all right. Thank you for your time this evening. Thank you for your trust. Thanks for plugging in. Again, my goal is over the next 3 months to start ramping up a lot of different things. That's why I've been working on the stuff that I got. And have yourselves a great day. Okay.
Thank you, Stephen.
You got it. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Have a phenomenal week, everyone. Be blessed
You
and be productive.
Hey, Queen, can we hook up tomorrow? Are you around for a phone call?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm here in LA, so I'd like to talk to you about a couple things.
Okay, cool.
Okay, very good then. Fantastic. Thank you all. Good night.
Good night.